Welcome back to another JT and Urban video. My name is Eli. How's everything going, JT?
What's going on, guy? I'm ready to talk about these scammers.
Oh man, scammers, and they getting smart with this. Now we're gonna be talking about a couple of scams and some scams that I almost got caught into and how I'm trying to scam. Not even trying. I'm just playing the scammers now. But let's go into this video and see how creative people are getting.
Yeah, be careful, y'all. Look. You see that? You see where we at? We on Golden State, yo. Golden State and Shaw. They out here with the shits. Look. Over here stealing people's information and shit.
All right, so, and I always start most of the videos like this. I'm a bit conflicted on this. And the reason I'm conflicted is because looking at the teller, he looked like, damn, oh shoot, I got caught. You feel me? Like, was he part of it? Like, was he in part of it? Or maybe he's like, oh snap, somebody put that there. Oh, let's just dissect that part right there, JT, because something similar happened to me in the bank. Let's just dissect that part. Just that one moment in the video where he pulled up the camera to the teller and the teller had that, hey, let me get out the camera or whatever. What's your thoughts about that, JT?
Okay, we're going to break down that part of when the guy put the camera in the employee owner face. We don't know.
Whoever. Correct.
He looked like, okay, I'm going to remove myself from the camera real quick. He didn't have a too guilty look, but guilty enough to know that he was complicit in this scam. Now, I looked at it and said, oh, he instantly knows about it. He cannot not know about what's going on. It's in the store that he's in, he works at or owns. So I'm sure he was aware, you know, but it just goes to show you, you have to make sure you check these things because scammers are alive and well.
Now, something similar happened to me when I went, this was like maybe 4 to 5 years ago. I went somewhere and it was the bank. I put my bank card in the whatever, the ATM, took it out, and it was for that bank itself. So I pulled it out. I ain't think nothing of it. I took out my money. I put all my information in there. Then, 2 days later, I like to check the account, see how much money I have in there. And then I see about $400 removed from it. So I'm like, dang, when did I pull out $400? So I'm because I do take money out, but I don't remember $400. That was too high of a number. I'm like, I didn't take out $400 within the past 2 days. I didn't even spend $400. So what is this? So I'm looking at it, then it said something that was like 30 miles away from me, south from where I was. And I was like, I haven't been that far down for like a whole year. So it can't be me. So I waited till the next morning because I was trying to call somebody. Of course, I found out like around 1 o'clock at night. So I had to wait till they opened. I called them and I was like, yo, such and such, what's going on here? Why? Blah, 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 blah. Turns out they put the stuff that they said was that somebody went there deliberately. They saw it on camera because, ATMs, they do have that camera. Somebody took a layout, put it on top of their ATM thing. So when everybody who put it, there was more over than like, I'll say thousands of people who information got leaked out. So what they had to do was they had to issue new bank cards to everyone. And I know this because I also had a friend of mine who had the same bank. He said, yeah, man, they're sending me out a new bank card because some incident happened. I was like, yeah, that happened to me. There was like, I forgot the number that they said, but there was a huge number that happened. But the whole point of this video is scammers are getting creative right now. Scammers are getting so creative right now, like from Nigeria. It's just getting real crazy. We have this, and even with me, with my background and some of the friends I used to hang around with, that's not the first time I've heard about that video itself. I know people who works in stores, like females who work in stores, and their boyfriend gets the whole setup and is like, hey, just put this in front of your store, blah blah blah, and just run business as usual. Just run business as usual. Don't worry about it before you leave. Just take it out and go. You know, so this is why I say that employee must have known. He probably started his shift. All right, hey, make sure everything's good. Please, okay, and go to the back. Somebody came with the camera, like, oh snap, let me get my face out of this camera right quick. Hey, but JT, you got anything you want to add to that?
Well, I mean, that, like you said, scammers are out here. Be careful. I even got approached at my job. HR called me and said, hey, we have something saying that you were unemployed for a particular time, and we know that you've been here. I said, look, I think my emails have been taken, and it's in the black web at one point, and they wind up applying for unemployment here in Baltimore. So thank goodness my job known that I was here. I said, hey, it wasn't me. I never was unemployed. They know this, but it happened to other employees as well. People's stuff was taken, and they were getting calls from the state saying that they were applying for unemployment.
Go ahead, man. This is I never heard this one before. I got to write this down to the list.
Right. So I was like, no, man, I didn't do this. So thank goodness I have identity theft on one of my benefits at my job. So they went through the proper and necessary things to prove it. Now, I did get an email a couple months ago to my phone saying that your application is being looked over. And I'm like, these scammers are relentless. So, but I haven't got a call from my HR, so I'm assuming everything is fine. I'm just telling people, make sure that they take care of protecting their Social Security, their credit cards, anything that people can take. Online applications, be careful. And even though this was at a convenience store, I'm sure teenagers, elderly, or people who were not paying attention got caught by this scam. Be careful, because it's that easy to take your identity.
Facts. Now, even with me, my house got broken into in around 2014. Until this day, they took my social, which was somewhere in my room, and they got in there and they took it. That was one of the only things they took, and that was the biggest thing they took from me, because I didn't have nothing back then, and they stole that. I'm still dealing with the ramification to this day. 2 days ago, a company called me, I think it was with SunTrust, saying, hey, I owe this much. This is an attempt to collect such and such. I'm like, sir, I've never even looked at a SunTrust. Like, if I were to go to a bank, SunTrust would be the last one. Whatever their name is, Truist right now, that would be the last bank I even think about opening an account with. Y'all idiot for actually giving somebody $700 and it wasn't a credit card. It was just they open up an account, put some money in there, and then overdraft like it ain't nothing. So I have to deal with that. I'm like, hey, this is not me. Send me the package. I can't tell you the amount of times of me actually sending the police report to different companies from 2014. From 2000, and it's not just that. They're getting creative with the scam. They're getting creative. You have now Chinese women or Chinese men. They're actually hitting people up on WhatsApp, getting emotional with them, like getting all physical, like getting you emotionally attached. And I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's called the pig butchering scam. They call their victim pigs, and they're feeding them. I'm talking about something that's going for months. Like, there was this one person, I didn't know about it. This is how I learned about it. Hit me up. Hey, I'm looking for Johnny, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Hey, how's everything going, Johnny? I'm like, this is not Johnny. And that was the end of the conversation for me. But she's like, oh, I'm sorry, my sister, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, hey, all right, no problem. Oh, you seem nice, such and such. Hey, would you like to be friends? I'm like, oh, fine, whatever. Okay, then she started asking me questions, and then somehow it was like, man, this person has some great conversations. I want to talk to him. And then it was to the point where, like, weeks later, it turns out she's running a successful restaurant somewhere in China, blah, blah, blah. And weeks later, she's showing me screenshots of, oh yeah, like specifically just name drop, oh yeah, I run a restaurant, but at the same time I also do forex trading with my sister. And then just through conversation, she's just like, oh yeah, I'm at work, I'm running the restaurants, and my sister's here teaching me about forex. And I'm like, okay. Then she's sending me screenshots, blah blah blah. Now at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm like, oh, just talking, I'm just going through the motion. In the back of my head, I'm like, hey, it's too. I don't think it's a scam. I don't think it's a scam. Like, you feel me? Because the connection is there. The connection is there. The friendship was built until it wasn't like she's forcing me to get into forex trading. It was more of a, hey, let me get this guy to be interested in forex trading. Showing me screenshot. Oh wow, me and my sister, we created this much profit, this much profit, this much profit. And long story short, I got baited into it. Man, hold on, man. I want to learn a little bit about forex. If you're making it like that, that's where it was. Now the tension shift. Then the conversation went from forget about the normal conversation. It was more of hey, let's go. Hey, you should do this. You should do this. You should do this. And I don't just put money and stuff without researching. So I put everything. I Googled everything I could possibly think of. She contacted me on WhatsApp. She's Chinese. All right, Chinese, WhatsApp, scam. Just Google those 3 words, and boy, the floodgates open. And I was like, good thing I'm a curious person. Turns out there's people who lost their house, who put every money they had because they actually trusted this person. And to this day, I still get random messages from. I like to play around with them now. Now this time I like to play around with them. They'll hit me up. Hey, David, man, long time no see. Not David. Oh, I'm sorry. I got your number from such. Sorry. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It is the same formula. It's the same formula. I got this one to become a professional. She was a professional. And then once I told her, hey, you a pig butcher, blah, blah, get her through the whole motion and make her think just right when she thinks she got me, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm tired of this game now. I know you're a pig butcher or whatever they call it. Scam, blah, blah, blah. She went from professional to a 12-year-old real quick. Oh, I'm your mom. I'm your mom. Hey, you're poor. I'm like, whoa. Hey, you probably seeing some screenshots right now. It's extremely funny. It's extremely funny. But JT, any final thoughts before we end the video?
Just be careful, guys. Just be careful.
Yeah, all right.
Now, that was our thoughts. I want to know your thoughts. Have you guys been scammed before? Comment down below. Let us know. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day.